basketball is tonight. Number 16 Kentucky welcomes the Texas A&M Commerce Lions out of the Southland Conference as part of the Wildcat Challenge. I'm Darren Hedrick, joined by the champion Cameron Mills. And Cameron, tonight Kentucky's facing a team that just a couple of years ago was Division II. Now they're swimming in the deep end to start this year.
They started this year at Texas Tech, Texas A&M, both games blowouts, but yet they averaged 6.5 blocks per game in those games. Still blowouts, but now they come to Lexington to face the 16th ranked Wildcats. So we'll see what they do. Only their second year in D1. They've got to climb a ladder.
Absolutely. And so the Wildcats tonight are going to be short-handed because Thiero is out. He's in concussion protocol. That rotation just shrank for Coach Calipari.
7 players, 7 scholarship players available for tonight's game. Not sure if Kentucky's going to need them. They got to keep their hands clean and keep that foul sheet clean.
It's going to be Jerome Brewer Jr. and Trey Mitchell to get us started. Opening tap controlled by the Lions. Wildcats defense has been strong early in the season, so handsy. There's a 3 from the left corner off the back iron, too long. There you see the starting lineup for the Lions as Kentucky goes on offense now. It's Rob Dillingham running point to start it off. Little handoff to Wagner. And here's the Kentucky starting 5. Rob Dillingham in there in place of Thiero tonight. Here's Dillingham from the corner. Mitchell battling hard, but the Lions grab that rebound.
And only one guy on the glass that time for the Cats.
Dodd with the handoff to Abdul Mateen, Khalik Abdul Mateen, the junior out of Houston, Texas. Lions have a couple of returners. Here's one of them, Tommy Lewis, who gets the Lions started.
You can already tell early in this game, just a different energy that Kentucky has played so far this year. Not another turnover, or a turnover by DJ Wagner.
What? All right, let's hear it. Keys to the game, Cameron, first of all, for the Lions.
Well, number one, for Texas A&M Commerce, they more than anything want to sprint back to try to contain UK's break. UK is a running team, makes some misses, they want to run. They also, Commerce wants to hit the board, so they've got to do everything they can to control the backboard. So far early in this game, one and only, but they got one. For Kentucky, more than anything, play angry. No matter what's going on, they want to play angry all year long.
Right side 3 is good. There's Lewis again. He's out to a 5-0 lead on the Cats. Commerce is going to overplay a lot on defense tonight.
They're going to come out and try to deny us initiating our offense, and again, play very, very physical.
Reeves tried to muscle one, couldn't get it to fall. Kalen Williams, a senior out of Augusta, Georgia. He's a transfer from New Mexico State. One of the returners in this program, had a great season last year. He's averaging 11.5 points through 2 games this year. Here's Lewis again. Boy, is he hot to start tonight.
No, that's great patience by the Lions that time. They worked the ball, made Kentucky work. Made Kentucky work on defense. They had to go help defense, close out. The Lions kept moving the ball around and finally found the open man and the hot man.
So John Calipari has to call an early timeout, and let's just take a look at this offense for the Lions.
Watch the passing. Watch how many times they make Kentucky step and move, found the open man. I mean, that was like the 3rd or 4th pass we saw right there on that replay. So Kentucky already working. It's already, obviously, the score. I mean, 8-0, Kentucky's not off to a great start, but already this is a different team. This Lions team, this is a different team just in how they play, the way they play than we've seen yet this season. They're tough, they're hard, they play physical. Coach Cal made a point about that this morning at shoot-around, saying, look, y'all can't just go through the motions, because they're not going to go through the motions. The Cats have to come out ready to play and be more aggressive.
And look, Tommy Lewis had not hit a 3 all season. He was 0 for 6 in the first 2 games. He's already 2 for 3 tonight. What did Coach Calipari tell Tom Leach of the UK Sports Network? He said, when teams come into Rupp, they shoot the lights out.
And Cal's exactly right. You can go back 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. When these teams come into Rupp Arena, they wind up just for whatever reason, nothing to lose maybe, they wind up just catching fire from behind the 3-point line.
Well, let's see what Kentucky can do out of the timeout. Here's Wagner. Reeves. And when Kentucky's in that flow of the offense, we've seen their shots go up. They can hit layups. Here's a lob inside to Mitchell, and he finishes strong.
And good job by Kentucky to be aggressive back. They stayed Couple of miscommunications, couple bobbles of the ball, but they got control, found the open man.
You and I have seen them a couple of times. When this Kentucky offense is rolling, they're attacking.
And if you don't want it rolling, if you're the Lions, then you've got to be aggressive, and that's what they're doing.
There's a corner three by Williams, and he rattles that one in. 3 threes early for the Lions, and they lead 11-2.
And that back to what Coach Cal was talking about, because that one was contested. The other two were open threes. That one contested, and they still knocked it down.
Basket by Wagner.
So Wagner responds with the basket on the other end. And there you see, last year they were averaging over 8 threes a game. But so far this year against vastly improved competition with the Aggies and the Raiders, it's down a bit, but not so far tonight. Lewis has been the tone setter for the Lions, and that one bounces. I think that got a piece of the official, and it's out of bounds off the Lions as Mitchell went hustling hard.
If you watch both teams play defense right now early in this game, Texas A&M Commerce, they are moving hard. They are making fast, hard cuts. Kentucky doesn't even look like they're bending their knees at this point. They've got to make an adjustment here quick about how much they want this game and how hard they're going to play, which is exactly what Cal again made a big deal about this morning.
Texas A&M Commerce has 4 assists on all 4 of their baskets. Edwards. That one rimmed out, but Dillingham grabbed the board. Here's Reeves. No, left it short. And now we've got a foul. It's going the other way.
Three Kentucky Wildcats back here, close to the half-court line, while 2 Kentucky Wildcats in there trying to rebound. Kentucky's got to send more guys to the board to get the ball. Offensive, fine, but they got to send guys to the board.
Well, there you see Jarrett Von Rosenberg, the head coach of the Lions, guided this program for the last 7 years. And think about this, Cameron. He's guided the Lions program through the pandemic in 2020, 2021, and now he's guided them from Division II to Division I. He's had a lot on his plate, but he's got over 100 wins with this program.
And it certainly looks like the Lions have come ready to play tonight. They look prepared and hungry.
Yeah, their first season last year in the Southland Conference, they were 13-20, 9-9 in the league. So 500 in their first year in the league. Here's Williams into the lane. Off on the right, and the 3 by Dodd rattles out. Edwards with the board, and the Cats are running. Here's Reeves. Nice move. Mid-air, the adjustment.
He made 3 different adjustments with the ball that time to make sure it wasn't blocked.
And the Lions answer with their 3rd 3.
Look, let them get hot, let them make their threes. Kentucky's got to stay in this game and stay in their offense.
Check that, it was their 4th 3 in 6 attempts. Wagner this time to the basket, right hand leaner, no.
And still, no offensive rebounding for the Cats.
Evan Phelps had the board that time for the Lions. Zandra Garrett out to Williams. Shot clock down to 8 as Williams drives and gets one to go high off the window.
And that's what we talked to Coach Cal this afternoon about, a ghost. You saw a ghost screen right there. Someone comes out, they set aside, player can use it, not use it, but Kentucky's got to be aware of it, especially help defense.
They want one from out front, and that's an air ball for Wagner. That'll bring us to a timeout at Rupp Arena. Texas A&M Commerce with a strong start, raining threes. They lead Kentucky by 10. Texas A&M Commerce out to the hot start and an early lead on the Wildcats. The Lions, of course, brand new to Division I, coming up in September 2021, out of the Southland Conference where they were 9-9 last year. And look, they have some key wins in Division I. They've won at Air Force, they've won at Hawaii. They also have a neutral site win over Eastern Kentucky. So there's some names there. They've played Texas A&M and Texas Tech, and now they've got Kentucky, and playing with some confidence, obviously.
Well, when you start off 75% from the field and 66% from the three-point line, that confidence can only build. So Kentucky's got kind of a little mountain here where they've got to calm themselves down. And look, there's still a big difference. If you watch defensively, the 2 teams are playing on a different level. Commerce is coming in, and they are doing everything to try to rattle Kentucky. As we said, they're getting in their face. They're denying the initiation pass. Kentucky has to play the same kind of defense on their end. They can't just sit back and let Commerce do what they want.
Reed Sheppard and Jordan Burks are into the game for Kentucky. Lions with the basketball. James Weathers, he's known as Pop, a junior out of Baton Rouge. 4 different Lions already with a three-pointer, led by Tommy Lewis, who has 2. Here's an open look for Pop Weathers, and he can't get it to fall. And that rebounds off of Commerce.
But a wide open 3. Kentucky, again, defensively, this is going to be a game where they're going to have to help each other a lot. They're going to have to close out on someone that's not their man, but make that person pass it. So far, not getting to the open shots.
Wagner finds Mitchell between the circles, had 5 assists on Monday night. Sheppard in the corner to Burks, back to Sheppard. Shot clock down to 10. Sheppard wants it out front. No. Boy, this place was ready to explode if that had gone in. The Wildcats are 3 of 10 and 0 of 5 from 3 to start the game, and 1 assist. Here's Williams, shot fake. Penetrates, lost the ball, picked up in the scramble by Weathers, and that leads to the 3 ball in the corner by Phelps.
Penetration into the lane, the defense collapsed. Even though there was a loose ball, it got tipped out to the right person.
19-6. Commerce, and now they're starting to overplay aggressively on defense. They're getting hands in the passing lanes. Reeves with the fadeaway. Floater won't go.
And no rebounding for Kentucky again. I keep harping on it, but that's the 3rd or 4th time where Kentucky's put a shot up. There is no White down there to get the ball, the offensive rebound.
Cats have not scored in 2.5 minutes. They have missed 6 of their last 7 shots. Reeves on the attack. Finds Wagner. Wagner with a nice adjustment, rolls it in.
And that's exactly what you need when you're not hitting shots, when your offense isn't clicking. Get to the lane, because that lane, as Texas A&M Commerce extends their defense, that lane gets bigger and bigger and more open.
Wagner with 4 points. Williams weaving his way through traffic. Forced that one up there, but he grabs his own miss off a deflection and scores.
Basket by Williams.
Talk about being at the right place at the right time.
Cats getting some adversity for the first time this year.
Mitchell got held a little bit there, but still was able to get a clean look. Williams has it stripped by Sheppard. He finds Reeves in transition. Here goes Reeves to the rack.
Deflection, steal, turnover, layup.
And that's the transition attack Kentucky wants, and the Lions are trying to avoid the steal into the layup. Commerce out to the early 11-point lead on the Wildcats, but there you see in the season opener for Kentucky the shot selection: 40% layups and dunks, 45% threes. Cameron Mills, that's kind of the new era of college basketball, but it's also a part of Coach Calipari's offense. You want to attack, and if your guy's open, kick it out for the 3.
Well, with Kentucky not having their bigs, they're going 1, 2, and 3 across the board. Trey Mitchell's having to play the 5, basically. And again, Kentucky's short-staffed tonight. So their offense, if you look at how they've run their offense so far in this game, the only way they're really getting shots is through layups. I mean, they've got to get the penetration. They've got to get on the fast break. If they're running their offense, Texas A&M Commerce is keeping them extended and keeping them out of it, really frustrating them, which on one level is good. The Cats have to learn how to deal with this kind of intensity on defense. But on the other time, it's not easy for them. They're not having an easy time with it, so they've got to figure this out. Calm down, stay steady, work their way back into this game.
Lions are shooting 62%. They've already made 5 threes in this game. Kentucky 36%, 5 of 14 shooting, and only 2 assists.
Kentucky's taking a lot of shots just kind of matter-of-factly. You know what? Shot clock's ticking, I'll take a shot instead of running your offense. Even if it's contested, run your offense.
Lewis back in the game for Commerce. He got the tone set early for Commerce with a couple of threes. Lewis with 8 points to lead the Lions.
And you see the Kentucky defense intensity is now picked up.
Shot clock at 5. Here's Dodd, shot clock at 3, and Sheppard with another tip. And a takeaway for Reed Sheppard, ahead to Edwards. They settled into the offense now. Kentucky down 11. Here's Dillingham down the lane, or just outside the lane. Sheppard, the floater, can't finish. Rebound and the putback by Edwards. He lays it in.
And that's the first time we've seen Kentucky crash the offensive glass. More than one guy in the paint, and it led to an easy bucket.
So the Cats are back within 9 at 21-12. Now, one of the other keys for the Lions tonight, Cameron, is limiting Kentucky's runs. You do not want an extended run. Here's a foul on Burks, a reach in, because you go back to their game against Texas A&M. They went on an 11-1 run, talking about the Lions, to get within one of the Aggies in the first half. Then Texas A&M finished the half on a 26-5 run. If you're Commerce, you cannot have that tonight against Kentucky.
Well, and you could go back to the New Mexico State game that Kentucky had. That first half, it was, you know, a close game, and then all of a sudden something happened in the second, and they exploded for a huge run and wound up winning by about 40 points. So the same thing here, Kentucky looking to kind of keep those runs going and forcing Commerce to take those timeouts and try to stop them.
Kentucky finished that New Mexico State game on a 21-2 run and scored the final 17 points against the New Mexico State Aggies. Dillingham gets fouled, can't get that floater to stay down.
When you can't get your shots to fall, coaches say all the time, get the easy basket. Well, fortunately for Kentucky, they've got a lot of guys who on their own, one-on-one, can get to the basket and not only get easy shots and layups, but draw fouls, and Dillingham is probably the best on the team at it.
It's the first foul on Khalik Abdul-Mateen, and the first on Commerce. Free throw is good. So there's Rob Dillingham at the line shooting. He's already made one. Number 15 recruit in the class, the number 1 recruiting class. At 17 points Monday night. And he's 2 for 2. Kentucky all of a sudden back within 7.
Just like that, now picking up full court, one-on-one, man-to-man though, full court.
That's Dodd against Sheppard. Now Kentucky would love to speed up the tempo here and try to wear down Commerce. Here's Dodd stuttering into the lane, and he got the foul, the shot to go as well.
And again, you see that ghost screen that Texas A&M comes out and sets. The screener picks a side on the pick and roll, but the offensive guy with the ball doesn't have to go that way. So Kentucky has got to be aware of at what point. So watch, he's coming out and setting a screen to the right. He goes left. So Dillingham thinks he's going to use the screen. He doesn't, and that screen is slipped, or what Coach Cal calls ghosted. Instead, it's down the lane, and now you've got 2 options. The man who set the screen, the man who has the ball in his hand.
It's already 2 fouls on Burks now. Free throw no good, comes right to Mitchell. Cats down 9. Boy, those guards for Commerce really come out to try to disrupt. They're not letting Kentucky get into any kind of rhythm. Here's Mitchell. Yes!
That's how you do it, too. Penetration, ball in the paint, find the open man on the 3, make the extra pass.
Mitchell was 0 for 3 from distance on Monday night at 9 points, 9 rebounds, but he got the tray to fall there, and the Cats are back within 6. 9:38 to go in the first half. It's Casey Ugwakazi into the game now for the Lions. 3-ball missed, and look at Kentucky scramble for the rebound. Sheppard out of the stack, ahead to Edwards. Edwards has it blocked, but a foul is called on the Lions.
Getting a great job by the Cats. Get the turnover and immediately look up, because if Commerce wants to slow the Cats down, what do the Cats want to do? They want to speed it up, as you said a few minutes ago, Darren.
It'll be Edwards shooting 2. Yeah, a lot of times in a matchup like this with a team that's still relatively new to Division I, going up against a blue blood like Kentucky as Edwards makes the free throw, you kind of think that depth is going to be a big factor in the second half, especially for a team like Commerce, but Kentucky's only got 7 or 8 guys available tonight.
But fortunately, here's the thing. Game days are days off for these guys. They work harder on their practice days than they do this. So any amount of sweat effort they put into tonight's game, you got 7 guys, 5 guys over there can make it a full 40 minutes of a game. It's more about effort than it is about endurance, because they have the endurance.
Don't look now, but the Cats are back within 4 after trailing 19-6. It's 23-19. And now a strip by Mitchell, picked up by Edwards. He's got Dillingham on the way, and a thunderous slam on the other end. Gets Rupp-Arena to their feet.
All made by Trey Mitchell, and the way he handled that screen. Again, I'm going to say this 1,000 times in this game. Go screen, go screen. They played it exactly the way they had it in the scout.
Into the lane. Dodd can't get it to fall, grabbed his own miss. Well, I think Commerce really needs to find Lewis. He was the hot hand early, and he's not been heard from since the first media timeout.
Well, talk about adjustments. Cats have made one defensively here.
Williams nearly traveled. Here's Dodd left corner, and that's an air ball, but a foul on Sheppard right in front of the Kentucky bench.
So one thing Reed Sheppard does a great job of, and Coach Cal made a big point about this summer at Canada, is he will block three-point shots. Because though he can't quite get as high up as his dad could back in the day, Reed's got some big leaps. So the way he can test this shot, watch him go to the side.
They don't like that one here in Lexington.
You know, you fall down, sometimes you can get a call. I've done it 1,000 times myself.
Free throw for Dodd.
I was getting ready to talk about Reed as far as like the way he went after that shot. You always want to go to the side and angle away, and that's actually what he did. He did it exactly right.
0 for 2.
The ball doesn't lie, is what we used to say on the blue courts.
Cats are on a 13-2 run, and this place is as boisterous as it's been.
If Dodd misses this one, I was going to say, if Dodd misses this one, Rupp might erupt more than it has all year. But one thing, though, Kentucky got away with that, only giving up 1 point with 3 foul shots. That's a foul on Sheppard. And that's the way Kentucky can't deal with tonight. They've got to stay away of being aggressive, but also without fouling.
There's a nice dish to Dillingham. Tried to tie it, but Edwards! Oh, the man slam on the putback.
So now it's to Commerce. Can they handle the pressure that Kentucky is bringing? They're on this run. How does Commerce respond?
Boy, Kentucky is really ratcheting up the energy on defense, feeding off this crowd here at Rupp, and now we've got a bobble, and I believe that's an illegal screen that they just called on Uguakazi.
And look at the reaction from Kentucky Wildcats. They know they didn't start this game well, and they have fought back, battled back, now close to equalizing this game. And that turnover was big. You saw the guys flexing. You saw them getting excited just around each other because of the turnover. They played great defense, got the turnover. Now they need to turn it into points.
They were down 19-6 and a chance to take the lead. Dillingham driving, stops, finds Sheppard. Plenty of time, shot clock at 14. They work it inside out. Wagner to the rim, and the Cats lead.
That fake pass Wagner made to Reed Sheppard, moved the defense over, and he had the lane open.
Pop Weathers, he finds Phelps. Phelps driving, Phelps dishing, it's deflected, and here comes Edwards out of the stack. Edwards down the lane, fouled, and he airballs the runner. Boy, Kentucky has really ignited the crowd at Rupp Arena with dunks. Dillingham with the hammer, and that's followed up by Edwards with the authoritative putback. 25-24 Kentucky, but at one point, Cameron Mills, it was 19-6 Lions after a hot start. All that did was make the Wildcats angry.
As young as this Kentucky team is, sometimes you got to find motivation, and look right here. Look at this anger. That's what I'm talking about when I say play angry, except the Cats have to do it for 40 minutes. Lions do too. If you want to win a game in college basketball, I don't care who you're playing. You've got to come out and play a full 40 minutes with a chip on your shoulder as though this team has disrespected you, whether they have or haven't. And in this case, the Lions came in, embarrassed Kentucky on their home court for the first 5-10 minutes of this game.
It was a hot start shooting for the Lions, but then Kentucky turned up the wick on defense, and all of a sudden, turnovers are now a huge factor. The Lions have 7 turnovers, Kentucky with only 1, and the Wildcats have a 7-point advantage on those takeaways.
Absolutely makes a difference. Those active hands, the deflections that lead. Sometimes they don't lead to turnovers, but sometimes they do. And for this Kentucky team, when they lead to turnovers, when those deflections lead to turnovers, Kentucky's running. And this is a dangerous team in Kentucky to be running.
So it'll be Edwards at the line for 2. The foul was on Brewer just before the break. And Edwards sinks the first. And for Justin Edwards, who's got 7 points tonight, also 3 rebounds, one of the things that Coach Calipari was on him about in shoot-around today was, hey, you're doing a great job attacking the glass, but I need you to get some offensive boards, and we've seen that in the slam already on the putback.
Kentucky just needs more of that, because early in this game there were no white shirts in that paint when a shot would go up for Kentucky. Edwards that time got in there and made it happen.
Pop Weathers on the right to Williams. Weathers again, left side. Here's Lewis, always the dangerous shooter. He had 8 points early on for Commerce. Shot clock's down to 6. Here's a quick dish and a short three. Boy, Kentucky's altering shots, Cameron, because they're closing out.
Exactly. They're extending that defense too, making Commerce run it all the way out here as opposed to earlier in the game, just kind of sitting back and letting them run their offense the way they want to.
It's a 13-1 run for the Cats. And Commerce does a nice job of swatting that one away from Mitchell. Williams. Not the shot I don't think Commerce wanted, but they got the rebound.
And that was just a little unfortunate. Trey Mitchell that time, ball bounced behind his back and into the hands of a Commerce player.
Yeah, that was Zeandrick Garrett with the putback. Dillingham might have got away with a push, but Kentucky has that ball knocked away and will stay with the Cats.
All right, now Cats have made their run. They've made the comeback. Now settle down, get in your offense, but stay aggressive, stay angry.
What in terms of Commerce, their defense is still flying around, playing aggressive.
But at the same time, what Kentucky can do is that penetration. They got quick guys that can get the ball in the lane.
Mitchell muscles up and finishes with a left hand.
That was all about footwork. Mitchell that time, the little kind of old Kevin McHale up and under. Those minutes are going to be good for Kentucky later in this year that he's getting right now to 5 and 4.
It's a nice backdoor cut, but Kentucky covered it up at the rim. Weathers gets into the high post, kicks it out to Williams. Shot clock down to 5. And a tough leaner, and that's a foul on Dillingham, too much body. So tell me a little bit about Trey Mitchell and how he used his footwork to get this finish.
What coach used to talk about all the time when I was in high school is your footwork, you're up and under. Like fakes it up, one step through. He steps through the double team, and he's got the other side of the basket because he uses the rim to protect. So a player's not going to come through that basket and foul him or block his shot. So he used the rim to protect him, but it was that footwork with that step through that was so sweet.
So Dillingham picked up his first foul. He checks out. Reeves is back into the lineup.
Something to watch out for, and I know we've commented on it already, Darren, but again, the foul situation for Kentucky. They are only going 7 deep tonight. As aggressive as this game has been, if it continues this way, Kentucky's got to be so careful to match the aggressiveness of Commerce without fouling.
Wagner flashes into the lane, had that one hit off the backboard. Might have been a goaltend, but no call. Commerce comes away with it. Lob and a missed dunk. And Sheppard takes it away. Boy, he did not give up under the glass. Here's Wagner, the transition. Too strong. Cats scramble back.
That time, Reeves and Sheppard both. Sheppard making the pass to Wagner for the 3, but Reeves and Sheppard both backing up for defensive purposes. One of those guys had to communicate and go crash the glass.
Abdul Mateen finds Williams on the right. Cats pushing him away from the arc. 10 on the shot clock. Williams into a triple team, throws it out, and Garrett can't get the 3 to fall. It's off the back to the front rim, and Edwards with the takeaway. Sheppard looking inside for Mitchell. He's covered up. New positions tonight for some Kentucky players. Mitchell and Edwards having to play that 5 and the 4 respectively. Here's Reeves in rhythm. Yes.
That was great offense. Went inside. Trey throwed it right from the block out to the 3. One extra pass to Reeves and the open 3. That's good offense.
I know I just witnessed a great play by the Cats when I see you and Jack Gibbons to your right both come out of your seats on the pass and the shot.
I mean, you see Trey throw pat. We know he can pass like that, but when you see it happen.
There's an air ball, but we got a foul under the basket. That'll bring us to another timeout at Rupp Arena. Let's take a look at the passing here by the Wildcats that led to the rhythm shot. Reeves from deep. The Cats lead by 4. One reputation that Jaron von Rosenberg's developed with Texas A&M Commerce in his 7 years is his team's ability to block shots. 3rd in Division II back in 2021, 2022. They're averaging 6.5 this year so far. Cameron Mills, they've got one tonight.
Just one. I mean, they're going for him. You see the one right there on the Wagner layup, but that's all they've gotten. And they're, like you said, 13 so far in the first 2 games of the season against Texas Tech and Texas A&M. But the Cats getting in the lane, making it difficult. However, on the other end, look, Commerce is doing a great job of making the Cats move on defense. I mean, they are moving the basketball. They're being as unselfish. Again, at some point, they've got to get in the lane. They're relying a lot on the threes. If they cool down from the threes, or Kentucky starts contesting them, you're going to see this game kind of flip-flop a little bit, because not sure that the Lions could run with the Wildcats. Dang it.
Commerce has not made a field goal in the last 2.5 minutes. .342 to play in the half. Cats with a 32-28 lead in the ball. See what they do out of the timeout as they serve it to Mitchell. Now to Sheppard, back to Wagner between the rings. Work it to Mitchell. Here's Reeves. And that one doesn't go on the second try. Commerce with a rebound.
Only 2 rebounders for the Cats that time in the lane. They got to send more.
Dodd penetrates, kicks. This time it won't fall for Commerce. Sheppard weaving his way through traffic. Finds Wagner high on the left. Wagner, left corner Reeves, thought about the 3. Instead he'll try the short jumper. That one's no good. Short corner shot. Commerce with the ball. Williams into the lane against Sheppard. Nowhere to go. They'll swing it back out for a long 3 by Brewer. That's short. Edwards with the board.
That's the shot Kentucky wants Commerce taking.
And Edwards lost the dribble, but Sheppard's there at the center circle to pick it up. Didn't call that one a pass. Here's Mitchell with the shot left short. Both teams have gone a bit cold in this last minute or so. Another 3 attempt, this one by Abdul Mateen, and it's no good. Sheppard with a rebound.
Commerce is going to be satisfied to just keep taking those 3s, contested or uncontested.
They're now 5 of 16 from deep. Hand off to Reeves. Reeves fires from out front and hits.
Nice little dipsy-do. Backs his defender up. He gets the room he needs to get the 3 off and drains it from the top of the key.
Cats with their largest lead of the half. 35-28. We tick down towards minute 45. Sheppard altered that shot and it wouldn't stay down for Lewis. Sheppard across the baseline out to Wagner. Wagner to Reeves. They've got Mitchell on the right wing. In and out. Boy, I like the look.
I loved everything, again, except the rebounding. There was nobody for Kentucky in that blue paint.
Rebounds are dead even at 17 apiece right now.
Remember, that was a big key for Coach Von Rosenberg. He wanted to out-rebound or stay with Kentucky in the rebounding.
There's Williams into the lane, surrounded by white jerseys, able to get the shot off, and it rolls in. Wildcats were trying not to foul there, but they had him surrounded.
Well, you talk about shot blocking. There's a perfect opportunity. You've got 3 Wildcats around a Lion player in the lane, and no real attempt to block the shot. Contest, yes, but not block. Wildcat shot blockers are over on the bench.
Shot clock down to 10 as Reeves launches. Yes!
Antonio Reeves is so good off the dribble with the 3. He's not just a set shooter. He'll move you, he'll back you up, he'll move to the side. He will get around you and take the mid-range jump shot. He's so good getting that shot off.
Third 3 of the half for Reeves. He's got 13 points and a 10-second violation on the Lions.
And that all goes to Reed Sheppard. He picked up his man early just to kind of put a little pressure on him, and they forgot about the 10-second call.
Antonio Reeves.
The way he moves him.
Yeah, just do not let this young man get hot.
By the way, that screen from Mitchell doesn't hurt either. That was a man screen.
So the Wildcats will, with about 25 seconds, but it's a 20-second shot clock. Leading by 8. Here's Wagner on the drive. Can't finish that one off the glass. Back the other way, Williams quickly, and Mitchell swats it into the eruption zone with 4 seconds left.
Just after I say the Cats have no shot blockers in the game, I'm proven wrong. That was a volleyball spike. That wasn't even a block.
Mitchell rising out of nowhere.
I mean, timed it perfectly too. Saw what was going to happen and got there.
Through the blue haze. Here's a desperation 3 to end the half. Dillingham with the board and a nice finish by the Wildcats. It'll be an 8-point lead at the break for Kentucky. Well, Texas A&M Commerce, they started out hot, racing out to a 19-6 lead, but the Wildcats roar from behind to lead by 8 at halftime. Kentucky with the 38-30 lead over Commerce as we start the second half at Rupp Arena. Darren Hedrick with you, joined by the champion Cameron Mills. And Cameron, what an entertaining first half we saw. I mean, it was Texas A&M Commerce all over the building early on, but then the Kentucky Wildcats just came roaring from behind.
Well, you see this thing that happens with these young teams, and you see it happen at Kentucky a lot because they have a lot of young teams, and that's they don't know how to start or finish games. And 2 times in a row, Kentucky not starting games well, but at least the wherewithal and the peace of mind to make the comeback, to do the things they need to do, to settle down and start listening to coach and executing. But got to give the Lions a lot of credit for the way they came out hot and played.
Well, the Commerce Lions came out hitting threes. Tommy Lewis set the tone early in this game.
Even contested shots, wide open shots. They moved the ball well.
But as the half went on, Kentucky really started clamping down. There you saw a closeout on the shooter, even though the shot went in. But as the half went on, Kentucky heated up from deep. And when things aren't going well, rely on your veterans, right?
Absolutely. Get the easy shots in, and all of a sudden the outside opens up, and you just catch fire as a team. And Antonio Reeves certainly did that. Made a couple of shots, freed himself, getting the man off of him, but started draining shots and caught fire and got Kentucky back not only in the game, but to take the lead by 8 at the half.
And when you look at Kentucky's defense, the Lions started 5 of 8 from distance. They cooled off 0 for 9 since, and a lot of that is Kentucky closing out and contesting shots.
I think a lot of it, too, is just the energy overall on defense. You go back to the first few possessions, Kentucky was standing up, weren't down in the defensive stance, weren't being active with their hands. And look, Commerce came out and did a great job of bothering Kentucky's offense. Kentucky has to do the same thing.
One of the keys for Texas A&M Commerce tonight was transition offense for Kentucky, limiting that. Well, it's 14-0 fast break points for the Cats.
And the Cats needed that to pull back into this game and take this lead, but they are a running team. Other key for Coach Ben Rosenberg over there on the Commerce bench was rebounding, and his Lions are keeping right with the Cats on rebounding.
+1. So here we go with the second 20 minutes from Rupp. Cats will get the ball first. Wagner, Edwards, Mitchell, Dillingham, and Reeves on the floor. Dillingham launches. That one's off the back rim. Another rebound for Commerce. Williams, Lewis, Dodd, Abdul Mateen, and Brewer on the court for the Lions. Don't be shocked if they don't look for Brewer. Here he is along the baseline, up and under. Couldn't get it to finish. Battle for the board, saved into Mitchell.
Good job by Trey to contest that shot and then stay around for the rebound.
Dillingham off to Reeves. Reeves hesitates, gives it back to Dillingham. He's driving baseline. Now to Mitchell, and Mitchell count it, and 1.
And again, you see the reaction from Mitchell that time. Fade away, got fouled, going to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play, but the reaction of frustration, anger, and let's go. Watch the way he finishes this. Look at the reaction. Talking trash to your teammates. Good kind of trash.
Mitchell with 9 points, shooting for number 10, and an 11-point Kentucky lead, and he got it.
The run from Kentucky extended now, 3 more points.
Kalen Williams with the handoff to Brewer. He's been held quiet tonight. Brewer, 32 minutes, averaged 12 points and 7 rebounds in the first 2 games. So far tonight, Brewer with just 3 points and 3 rebounds. There's a nice leaner by Williams in the lane.
It was a nice leaner, but see the way DJ Wagner contested. He went straight up and contested that shot. So even though it went in, it's still strong defense.
Dillingham dishing to Reeves, and that one's going to end up out of bounds. Reeves was covered up by 3 or 4 Commerce Lions under the basket.
And if you're Kentucky, you'll take that all day long. They want to send 3 guys down to guard Trey Mitchell or guard Reeves when he gets the ball in the lane. Again, it's going to open up the 3-pointers and open up the outside.
There's Williams again all the way to the basket, and he finishes with a right-hand slam. And Commerce back within 7.
Those are just mental mistakes the Cats making, as they did early in this game. Someone's got to be there for help defense. That lane was wide open.
The extra pass to Wagner. And that one's off the rim. Another rebound for the Lions. They are +2 on the boards. There's a shot blocked by Reeves, but he got too much body under the play.
Watch this coming up, this dunk by Williams for the Lions. Just no help defense whatsoever from the Cats. That lane is wide open. Nobody sitting down there to contest that penetration.
Williams, one of the returners for the Lions, averaging 11.5 points through 2 games. Trying to help spark the second half offense. And here's Brewer at the line for 2. His first foul, by the way, on Reeves. And the Lions are having all kinds of problems free throw shooting right now. They're 3 of 7. As there you see the numbers for Brewer last year. And they've been better so far this year. 1 out of 2 at the line. So after Kentucky got it up to an 11-point lead, the Lions have cut it to 6. Wagner penetrates, tried to give it to Mitchell cutting baseline, but it's knocked out of bounds by the Lions.
It's one of the benefits Kentucky has. If they get in a situation like that where offense is being contested at every turn, they got the talent to take the ball down in the lane, just go one-on-one.
Here's Mitchell one-on-one against Brewer. And Mitchell gets it to go.
Kevin McHale, the up and under. Had a high school coach that harped on that all the time. Where are the up and unders? No one does the up and unders anymore. Trey Mitchell does an up and under.
It almost looked like he submarined his defender that time. Just went underneath him and rose up around him on the other side.
I like that. I feel like that's what they ought to call it, the submarine.
Williams with another basket to keep it a 6-point game. Dillingham. And that pass was a little too hot.
Kentucky's getting fortunate last couple possessions.
So let's take a look again. And again, I'm not going to claim that we should start calling it the submarine, but that's exactly what this move looks like.
Up, under, step through. That's
rising out of the water on the other side.
The second time we've seen Trey Mitchell with some fantastic footwork on that low post.
You could call it a swim through.
You're stretching now.
I know. Here's Dillingham with the shot. You got to have a little fun with it, right?
I thought submarine was great. I'm voting submarine.
Okay, all right.
Just saying, when I was growing up, it was called the Kevin McHale, and I thought, well, surely we'd be better than that.
The submarine.
The submarine.
We could call it McHale's Navy. Reeves with a rebound for Kentucky.
That's an 80s reference that few people are going to get.
I know.
Kentucky's starting to do a lot. Look, they have the ability to go one-on-one. They have the ability to one-on-one get in the lane and break down the offensive lines. Doesn't mean they want to rely on it. They want to run their offense. They want to tire out Texas A&M Commerce and then get the shot from their offense. They can't rely on just going one-on-one every time.
Phelps and Weathers just checked in for Commerce. Wagner with the basketball. Comes back to Dillingham. Dillingham with a nice shot fake, gets the open look, but it won't go. Rebound to Mitchell. Back to Dillingham. How about again, young fella?
All Trey Mitchell. Trey Mitchell getting his hands on a lot of basketballs, leading to a lot of good things for Kentucky Wildcats.
Cats back to an 11-point lead, matching their largest of the night. We approach 15 minutes left in this one. Williams saves possession near half court off a bad pass. Williams into the lane, and I believe that was Edwards that swatted that one back out, and the open three is no good off the deflection. Boy, Wagner just charges and attacks in transition.
It's hard to stop that. I mean, he is a He is a thick guard. He will push you around down there in low post and has put on a lot of good weights just since he's been here for the last few months at Kentucky. Makes it a lot much harder to guard him.
Mitchell got a hand on that one. Commerce starting to scramble now as Wagner closes out on Weathers.
See this energy exchange from Kentucky right now. A lot of bodies on the floor.
Weathers into the lane, back out above the arc. And a floater at the shot clock's no good. Rebound Edwards.
Maybe some of the best D Kentucky's played all year.
Oh, the follow jam by Edwards. Hello. And a timeout, Commerce. Rob Dillingham showing off for Kentucky. The no-look pass and the open shot buried by the freshman. Dillingham out of Hickory, North Carolina. Cats with a 52-37 lead, but they've got a new look coming to Rupp Arena as this week the athletics department unveiled the new court that is coming to Rupp Arena. And Cameron Mills, I gotta say, I love the outline of the Commonwealth in the center of the floor.
Absolutely love it. And that's old school. That's going back to a floor on Memorial Coliseum. That was one of the looks they had back in the days where they had the outline of the state of Kentucky right there on the center court. It's a good-looking floor. Won't see it until December 2nd or 5th, I believe, against UNC Wilmington, but it's coming.
And the best part is, once we have the state outline on the court, with your knowledge of Kentucky geography, you can tell us the county from which the Cats shot from.
I can approximate it. True. Unfortunately, the counties aren't outlined on that graphic, but I mean, you know,
That's an approximation.
I can tell you about where the shot's coming from.
I love it. We'll have to test that maybe the next time we do a game with the new court.
I'm game.
As we mentioned, the Cats with a 52-37 lead. Commerce has got to be careful right here, Cameron, because it's a 9-0 run by the Cats and a 15-point lead. It's starting to get away from them a little bit.
Yep. At the same time, though, we saw them come back and kind of take that. They didn't take the lead back, but they kind of cut it to what I believe 6 at some point early in the second half, and the Cats then extended it out. So see what happens here and how Commerce reacts. Kentucky certainly turned up that defensive intensity already just out of that timeout.
There's Williams on the right, it goes. Lewis buries, there he is. We haven't heard from him in a while.
And the thing is, if you're Kentucky, what else can you do? You had a man in his face. The shot was contested.
That's for Tommy Lewis. That's the third 3 of the night for him. He's got 11 points. Cats with a 12-point lead here at Rupp. Well, the preseason was not like any that a guy would want to experience for Texas A&M Commerce head coach Jarrett Von Rosenberg. On October 13th, his wife, Sarah, suffered a massive stroke, and she underwent surgery, suffered another one. Since then, it's been good news. Her condition is stabilized. She's been able to talk and communicate. It's a road ahead in front of Sarah, and Coach Von Rosenberg is with his team here tonight at Rupp Arena, but there was a time where the Lions weren't sure if he was going to be able to make this road trip to Aggie Land and Texas Tech and Kentucky, but he is with his team. And so far it's been, I guess, positive progress for his wife, but obviously just a tough situation for the head coach of a growing program to have to experience and get through.
And just know that the moment, you know, maybe when game's going on, he can kind of take his mind away from that, but you know the moment the game is over and he steps off this court, that's sneaking back into his mind. 2 young kids, I believe.
And they do have a fundraiser going on to try to help the medical expenses for his wife, and it's great to see the community down there in Commerce, Texas. There's a 3 by Reeves getting involved trying to help the coach.
The ball movement for Kentucky that time, a lot of in and out, and again, penetration. Reeves just spotting up.
Antonio Reeves with 4 threes, 16 points tonight. And the Wildcats again lead by 15.
See that go screen for Commerce.
Dillingham steps in front of the pass. Here comes the freshman, and his shot's blocked at the window.
Dillingham did a great job, though, looking off the defender making him think he was going to pass it, opened up the lane, but boy, Commerce reacted quickly. They got some shot blockers in this team.
It's the second block for Commerce. They came into tonight averaging 6.5 in their first 2 games. Here's Edwards, one hand, flushed it.
Again, the scouting report on the Cats, do not let him run. Commerce let him run that time, especially on missed baskets. You got to get back if you're the Lions.
That was an absolute rise and nail dunk.
Almost thought for a second he wasn't going to get there.
Lewis with the shot fake, and he draws the foul. Let's go back and take a look here.
See if that ball doesn't just graze the rim a little much on the front end here.
That's Air Edwards.
I don't know. That looked kind of clean. Maybe it's just me. For me, he took off too far from the basket. But for me, too far from the basket is anything not underneath the basket.
Foul was on Burks, his 3rd for Kentucky. And it's Lewis at the line shooting 2, and the free throw struggles continue for the Lions. Now 4 of 9 at the stripe.
And that wasn't in the scouting report. Hit free throws, it always needs to be. Maybe that's why it wasn't, because it's just assumed. Guys, step up to the line and knock down your foul shots. You're going to come in and beat a team like Kentucky, you got to do it from the 3, you got to do it from the foul line, especially if you're outmanned.
57-41 Kentucky. Here's Sheppard moving right off the screen. Edwards into the lane. Edwards gets one to kiss off the window.
Get the sense that Edwards got kind of a slow start in the first half and kind of wants some of that back in the second.
Used the square to finish that one. Brewer finds Weathers. Through a lot of traffic, he throws it into the first row. They're going to say it was tipped. 11 on the shot clock.
Notice how much Kentucky's contesting just about every 3 now this time. Maybe missing 1 or 2, but they're not letting the Lions have easy baskets as they were in the first 5 minutes of this game, really the first 10 minutes of this game.
Mitchell and Wagner return to the lineup. Dillingham goes out, so does Edwards. Dodd trying to trigger it, able to find some room for Brewer. Here's the ever-dangerous Tommy Lewis with the step back. Got it. Wow.
Gave Antonio Reeves a little taste of his own medicine that time.
Tommy Lewis, 4 trays, 15 points tonight. Wagner in the lane. Too strong. Off the rebound of Dodd. Here's Lewis down the lane, and his runner won't fall. Rebound tapped to Kentucky. Here's Reeves all the way. Reeves off the glass.
Great penetration by Reeves, not only from the outside, but you got to come out and guard him. Give him that respect, and he'll blow by you. A lot of these cats will.
17-point lead.
A lot of credit to the Cats for reversing the situation in this game.
There's a block by Sheppard in the lane. Mitchell with a loose ball. That'll bring us to a timeout here at Rupp Arena. The Cats with a 61-44 lead over the Lions of Texas A&M Commerce. The season really begins next Tuesday in the Champions Classic when the bluest of blue bloods tangle Kentucky and #1 Kansas.
Absolutely, and all anyone has been asking of Kentucky fans is, are we going to have the bigs back for Kansas? Not the season, but Kansas. And look, we've seen tonight the way Commerce came out and played. You don't really know what can happen. That's why you got to play the games. And as we heard Dickie B in that promo say, anything can happen. Kentucky, when they face Kansas, they're going to be presumably a little bit outmanned, especially from the 4 and 5, and see if the guards can get something done against them.
And then, of course, in that graphic that you just saw on the screen, one of the things that's so hotly contested is Sheppard wants a 3, can't connect, and the rebound won't follow either. One of the things that is hotly contested between Kentucky and Kansas fans, that all-time wins record that right now the Wildcats currently own.
Owned, lost, and got back.
That's right. Dodd against Reeves. Dodd into the lane.
Look,
The
all the
scoop
help.
shot won't go.
All the white down to that paint, offering help defense.
Sheppard comes back to Wagner. Yeah, going back to that last play on the scoop shot is Sheppard near the free throw line. Can't get the pop to fall. And another rebound for Commerce. When Kentucky, especially when they get those three bigs back into the lineup and they've got 21 feet of inside presence.
Yeah.
You can't go to the rack with a scoop shot against the Wildcats.
No, and we talked about Commerce's ability to block shots coming in this game. We've seen them get their hands on a couple, but you get around a guy on the perimeter and you've got a 6'10", 7-foot guy sitting back there. Even if he doesn't block your shot, he's going to change your shot. And it is such an advantage to have big sitting back there, because now we see him sitting over on the bench. Got Zvonimir, Aaron, Bradshaw, and Onyenso sitting over on the bench.
Cannot wait to get those three back.
I'm guessing Zvonimir probably, and this is just my opinion, probably will be the first one back. His is about eligibility, not starting school till later. Other two are injured.
Mitchell in the lane.
Still, he's not necessarily a big, but he plays like one.
Mitchell up to 14 points. 6 rebounds tonight. Cats have 3 in double figures. Sheppard again getting that, just a hand in the lane, just a little bit of a finger deflection on that one. There's Brewer trying for 3. Got it.
If I'm Kentucky, I take that all day long. I mean, that's a contested shot. He was fading away from the 3, and he drained it. I mean, what else can you do?
45 shots by Commerce tonight, 22 of them from 3. They've made 8 for 36%. And for a Brewer, he's got a pair. He's up to 9 points. Wagner tried to go high off the window that time. Tough rebound by Burks. Gets it out to Mitchell. They swing it to Wagner, and Wagner's fouled on the reach.
Watch how contested the shot is. It goes in for A&M Commerce. What else can you ask for on defense? I mean, hands up, ball, shots contested. Sometimes they just go in.
Foul was on Dodd for Commerce. Wagner to Mitchell. Tried to get it to Sheppard, but it's knocked out of bounds by Dodd. Cats still with only 3 turnovers in this game, 8:38 to play.
It's been impressive what they've done the first few games as far as not turning the ball over.
There's Dillingham, center circle. 5 on the shot clock. Tries to let it go, and he's fouled by Williams.
I think he was behind the 3-point line on that one.
Yeah, they're indicating 3 free throws.
Give a lot of credit. These 3 free throws go to Jordan Burks, the way he, again, got the offensive rebound, because not only did he get it, immediately turned around and looked for a teammate and found, I believe it was Trey out here, open for 3, who didn't take it, but Kentucky retained possession.
Dillingham at 17 points in the opener against New Mexico State. He's got 9 tonight. 5 rebounds. Missed the first free throw. 2 more coming up. Freshman out of Hickory, North Carolina.
I don't know why it is, but it's always tough when you're shooting technical foul free throws and there's no one on the lane, or you got 3 of them coming up instead of 2. You're used to 2. You're not used to stepping up there and trying to hit 3, and somehow it just makes it a little more difficult.
That one rolls in. And the shot clock did not start on time.
Coach Orlando Antigua of the Cats communicating loudly to the Wildcats down here on the baseline. What is it? I never understand this. Rolling the ball until we're going to pick it up.
Clock, yep.
Does it though? I don't think it saves any clock.
Well, it doesn't start till they touch it.
Right. Put a guy right out here and throw him a chest pass.
Wildcats were able to deflect that one away from Lewis. Here's Sheppard surrounded by Lions, and he rolls into the den, and that one rolls out of bounds off a Lion.
I think Reed would have been better served that time to kind of pull that out. You've seen Kentucky, they want to run, they want to get it out, but we've seen a couple times where they've smartly pulled it back and got into their offense, and that's going to come with age. As these guys mature, they're going to start realizing at what point they need to pull back, and you know what, let's set an offense, what time do we need to push this break?
Dillingham off the inbounds play, can't get it to fall from the corner. Brewer swings it to Dodd. Dodd trying to penetrate. Cats covering him up. Out to Lewis. Lewis trying to get open for a shot. 10 to shoot. There's Williams out high. 7:45 to go in the game. Williams into the lane. Out to Lewis. Another three ball for Lewis. His 5th of the game. He's got 18.
It's a great job again, as we've said so many times for Kentucky. You penetrate that lane, that defense collapse, because Kentucky was doing a great job on defense in that possession. Just one little hiccup there towards the end as they had to rotate.
Sheppard comes back out to Wagner. Now he's in the lane, gives to Mitchell, open, and there is your exclamation point on the finish.
See what happens is DJ drove the lane over here, drove all the defense, and everybody forgot about Trey Mitchell sitting all alone under the basket. Remember, under the basket, that's where I like baskets. It's the easy ones.
Especially when you're 6'9" and can finish with 2 hands on the rim.
That's why I like
corner
bank shots.
3, no good. Mitchell with another board for the Wildcats. Mitchell now 16 points and 7 boards. Dillingham pushing tempo. Driving the baseline out to Sheppard. Wagner underneath to Mitchell. Oh, here's Edwards all alone. Couldn't get it. Commerce might have dodged a bullet there. He was so open and a block, but Williams got it back and scored.
Great block by Sheppard, but right back to Williams, who's able to.
And on the other end, an and one transition bucket. Trey Mitchell starting to announce his presence. Look at this finish right here, wide open, and the big fella with authority. Boy, the dance moves are being shown here at Rupp Arena. Cameron Mills, what you got on that?
Gotta keep my mouth shut on that. we got enough stereotypes about Kentuckians, so we don't need to make any more.
Well, it's opening week around college basketball, and already we are seeing some mid-major teams make some noise. How about James Madison going up to East Lansing and knocking off number 4 Michigan State? Abilene Christian with a win over Oklahoma State. Princeton had a great run last year. And right now, Chattanooga leads Louisville 54-36.
Yeah, that James Madison over Michigan State game, that's the one that stands out to me because Michigan State is always tough and tough early in the season. And for them to fall, it just shows it doesn't matter. And I know we like to say, okay, Texas A&M Commerce are coming in, Cats will get a win. It looks like maybe that'll happen, but look, bottom line is these teams that come into Kentucky, or wherever you're playing early in the season, anybody can beat anybody on any night. The parity in college basketball is crazy because of the portal, because of everything else.
And there you saw the 2 leading scorers for Commerce. The N1 is good for Wagner out of the timeout. Uguakazi picked up his 3rd foul before the break. So Wagner with a layup and the N1. Kentucky leads at 69-54 as we approach 6 minutes. Right now, Williams with 19, Lewis with 18. Here's Brewer with a shot out front.
Commerce heating back up to the 3-point line. Again, another contested one, though.
Brewer with 12 points.
Cats are not really giving them open threes. They're just making contested threes.
Commerce has made 10 from deep on 25 attempts for 40%. And they're hanging around down 12, giving the Cats a tough test tonight. It's Wagner to Mitchell, left side Edwards. Fadeaway jumper from the baseline, good.
You love the dunks, you love the easy plays, but that's the difficult play. The little short corner jump shot after the penetration by Edwards.
Williams between the rings. And we got an offensive foul. Dillingham took the spill and got the call. Looked like he might have pushed off of him.
It's one of those things where you see a player come hard, the defensive player get hit hard on a screen, and it's hard not to assume sometimes there's a foul. I didn't get a good look at that either way, but
they actually called that foul on Garrett, not Williams. There's Wagner moving right, quickly to Mitchell. Getting down to 5 minutes left in this one. Edwards, no. Mitchell saves it to Sheppard. Here's Edwards by himself, and he lost the ball on the way up to Duncan. That just fell out of his hand.
Everything about that play was perfect except the end.
Williams trying to find some room to operate. Comes down the lane. Mitchell with the block. Sheppard had it for a moment. He collects it. There's Dillingham underneath the Mitchell, who lays it in that time.
Great kind of secondary break from the Cats that time, not even the primary one. Dillingham slowed up the pace. Saw Mitchell coming down the lane wide open, made a nice little no-look.
Mitchell's got 18 points and 8 rebounds. He's approaching a double-double as Dillingham commits the foul, his second.
And that's the foul, again, that the Cats don't need. 35, 40 feet from the basket, you're just going after trying to deny a pass to initiate offense, wind up getting over-aggressive.
The Wildcats are still on 3 turnovers for the game. 4 minutes to go and change.
It's amazing, especially considering how difficult this Commerce team has made Kentucky play offensively. I mean, they are in their face. They are trying to cause turnovers.
So a timeout for the Lions. Wildcats with a 73-57 lead here at Rupp. Basketball has always been a family affair, but more so for the Sheppards as we go back to 1996. Take a look there at Jeff. There's Reed from Monday night. And then Kentucky fans.
And Pam Beasley, of all people, making an appearance in the Kentucky basketball game tonight.
But Cameron Mills, you had a chance to talk with Jeff during our during pregame tonight, and he says that Reed doesn't necessarily play like he does.
Now, Jeff said everyone compares Reed to Jeff, right? I mean, because everyone forgets about Stacy. Stacy played at Kentucky at the same time Jeff played at Kentucky, and Shep himself says, no, Reed plays like his mom. I mean, he doesn't play exactly like me. Maybe there's some similarity, but he looks and plays like his mom, and he's exactly right. His mom was great at getting her hands on basketballs, great at deflections, great playing defense. Shep, I played with Shep. He's a little weak on containment on the perimeter, a little weak with the left hand.
Well, how is he in terms of watching Reed?
Nervous as all get out. Look at that tenseness over there. Just uncomfortable.
Sheppard tonight has 2 rebounds and an assist, looking for his first shot. Cats with the lead, 73-57. Commerce has battled tough tonight. They had a 19-6 lead in the first half, and Kentucky's asserted control since then. Here's a fadeaway shot, well short, and the long rebound comes out to Reed. Give it to him. Ahead to Reeves, back to Reed Sheppard, out to Dillingham. No.
Well, that three-pointer was on a break that time, but the Cats still have to crash the boards.
There's Brewer to Williams. Williams with 19 tonight, leading the way for Commerce. Thought about that 3, trying to get some operating room. Tried to go inside and overshot his man. It's deflected out of bounds. While we have a quick moment break in the action, Cameron, we want to shout out a close friend of ours that has been a long-time staple of UK athletics in terms of media coverage, Big Blue Insider, the UK Sports Network, SEC Network. Dick Gabriel, a little under the weather, had a serious operation. this week. He's doing fine. He's recovering nicely, but we just want to give Dick Gabriel a quick shout out.
Absolutely. I worked with Dick as a player. I worked with Dick. He covered me as a player and my teammates. And when I got done knowing that I wanted to do a little media, he was the one person I went to and I said, you mentor me. Now, I don't know if I ever said it to him like that, but that's certainly what he has done, and I'm extremely, extremely grateful for it.
And I don't know if he's watching us tonight because he doesn't need any added stress in his life, but I'm sure he's been following the Cats' progress all night long, and we hope to see him back on the Big Blue Insider soon as Sheppard finally gets one to go.
Reed's been cold this game, but as you saw, shot that ball with confidence, catch and shoot. He almost knew, probably did, that he was going to put it up the moment the ball was on its way to him, even before he touched it.
Sheppard had 12 points on Monday night against New Mexico State. That's his second career three-pointer. And it's 76-57. Kentucky finally gets it above 20, and just as we say that, it'll be an and-one opportunity for Commerce. The Lions continue to battle.
Did you notice again, no white shirts after the second line of defense there. Once the Lions got past that, there was nobody back there to help. The help defense has got to be there. Even though, look, Texas A&M Commerce doing a great job on the weak side of keeping Kentucky's defenders busy, but somebody's got to keep their eye on the penetration coming down or the offense coming down the other side on the strong side.
Burks with a rebound after he picked up his fourth foul. And here comes Reeves in the front court. 2.5 minutes left in this one. Dillingham goes behind the back down the lane. That would have been one of a Sports Center top 10 if he'd got that one to go.
We've had a few of those plays tonight that might make it, but Dillingham is so quick with the basketball. He's such a great ball handler, but it's not just about being a great ball handler. He's quick with the ball.
And he's one of the guys, too, that's gotten into the weight room this summer and completely changed his body.
A lot of these guys have. The before and after pictures that we've seen are just
Reeves from Lexington Center downtown. Wow.
If the new court was here, that would have been Elizabethtown.
21 for Reeves, 5 threes tonight. 79-59. Williams steps back, launches. Rebound comes right into the arms of Reeves.
Good job by Reeves to come back and get that rebound.
Dillingham off to Edwards. Edwards around the baseline, cut off. Out to Reeves, now Dillingham, and they'll reset. 1:33 left in this one. Dillingham down the right side. Nice leaner there. Little adjustment on his way to the rim.
Little Euro step, went up with his right, moved it to his left. It's just funny watching these guys play with the Euro step rule in effect. Every time I think, it just inside it hurts me. It hurts me. It's a walk. I know in my heart it's a walk, Darren. According to the rules, though, it's not.
Then it's not a walk.
In my heart, it is.
Williams, a nice move in the lane. And he found his teammate. That was Zeandrick Garrett, and a timeout by the Lions. So, hey, Antonio Reeves has had himself a night. 21 points, 5 threes, but this one in particular from deep.
It's a great job by Burks. Burks, again, shielded. Not really a screen, but shielded. Antonio Reeves can shoot from deep, so if you're going to not have any contesting, okay, then.
Well, then.
Look at that skinny guy. Just fantastic.
But, hey, you got him on percentage.
Huh? But listen, all right. I'm going to say this as humbly as I can. I got all of them on percentage. So I got one record. One record at this university. One, Darren. I played here 4 years. One. And it's in three-point shooting.
We'll let you have
I'm arrogant about nothing, but I will be arrogant about that.
Okay, champion.
Shooter. Just call me Shooter.
Wildcat for life.
Yes, correct.
There you go. 1:03 left in the ball game. 81-61. Kentucky's on their way to a 2-0 start.
Yes.
We've talked about Antonio Reeves, but there's another veteran in Trey Mitchell that stepped up tonight. How about 18 points on 8 of 11 shooting, 8 rebounds as well.
And the footwork that we've seen from him. I mean, when Kentucky got him as a player, right, that was a big, big get. But now you're seeing why, okay? He's playing the 5. This is not his position. He can step out and shoot the 3. But the footwork we've seen in the low post from this guy tonight, you don't see much because bigs, even bigs, don't really work on, they'll work on the little baby hooks, they'll work on the little fadeaways because those are more NBA type players. But to see someone with such great footwork under the basket, back to the basket, on the block, I mean, we've seen two submarines, as you like to call them tonight.
That's right.
Or up and unders, as I like to call them. Yeah. Or Kevin McHale's, as it was called in the 90s.
I think up and under is going to stick a lot easier than the submarine move.
I think the old school basketball people know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And the old school people that I was around in basketball camps growing up all know what the Kevin McHale was.
Dillingham to Reeves in the corner. How about 6? Nope. Burks did a nice job trying to run that one down.
He did, actually, and I almost looked like maybe he even batted it off a Lion's hands, but official saw it going the other way. So,
well, tonight Rupp Arena had a great crowd here tonight. They were loud. They helped Kentucky get back into this one. Obviously, the fans here, the BBN, are energized by these talented freshmen, this #1 recruiting class. But wait until they get those 3 big men back, and we'll see what this team looks like, because as we get a foul underneath, this is a team that's still going to be, I think, playing this kind of style even when they get those big guys.
Absolutely, because again, the bigs over there on the court are not necessarily back to the basket type bigs as well. I mean, they're big. I'm seeing highlights of Wagner. I mean, literally driving the lane and doing kiss the rim dunks. I mean, these are talented bigs, but they still need them defensively. They need them rebounding wise. I mean, Kentucky's got to have these bigs back if this is going to be a special year for them.
How about Commerce tonight coming into Rupp Arena? They were not intimidated at all, as a 3's no good by Abdul Mateen, and the Lions will keep possession with 16 seconds left.
And you know where that comes from? That comes from what we talked about early in the broadcast, where, look, they played Texas A&M. They played Texas Tech. They were blowouts, but you come into Kentucky, what do you have to fear? You're used to playing these big-time teams, and so it grows. It's the same thing with Kentucky. This was a good game for Kentucky tonight because Commerce gave them a game. I mean, they scared them in the first half, and they taught them, hopefully, hey, you got to start the game fast.
Now Kentucky's going to bring it into front court and run out the final few seconds. Head coach John Calipari will meet Jaron von Rosenberg, and the two will exchange handshakes at half court. And this one goes to the blue and white here at Rupp Arena tonight. Final score 81-61. Cameron Mills, your final thoughts on the way Kentucky rallied to secure this one tonight?
Well, I think that, again, just kind of shows a lot of the maturity that we talk about with this team. Young, yes, but emotionally and mentally, there is a lot of maturity with these Kentucky Wildcats. They handled, I mean, they were down, what was the most they were down? 11?
19-6, 13.
19-6, 13 points, and yet they didn't panic. They settled into their offense. They started the game plan. They did what they had been taught to do, and they did it well, and continued to do it for the next 30 minutes of the game, and wound up with a nice little blowout victory of 20 points.
It was 21-8 at one point. Kentucky rallies to win it 81-61. Wildcats got 5 in double figures tonight, 21 from Reeves, 18 from Mitchell. For Cameron Mills and our broadcast crew, I'm Darren Hedrick. Thanks for being with us tonight. This has been a production of the SEC on ESPN. We say good night from Lexington, the Cats by 20.